everyone, welcome back to Bald Guys with Guns. I'm Rob.
And I'm Jeremy.
And we're on episode 3 of Learn Long Range with Us.
We're back for more.
We're very excited about this. Now, I want to mention something right off the bat. We live in Utah. Mountains don't allow for no wind. Wind is swirling all the time because of the mountains. Also, we have to schedule our shooting around jobs and kids and stuff. So, as much as we would love to be able to just come out when it's not windy, which is very rare here.
Very rare.
Very hard for us to time and do. So, unfortunately, we are doing our best, but it's probably going to be windy every time we shoot.
Now, for episode 3, we will be shooting the 6.5 Creedmoor. This is going to be a fun episode. You get to see some beautiful scenery. Rob was fortunate enough to take you guys to Bear Lake and shoot his 300-yard groups out there. We are back out here in Tooele shooting up here. A little bit about this, you guys may have seen. If you haven't, go check out our episode 1. We were not overly whelmed with the performance of the Hornady 140 grain.
Yeah,
right?
We thought the spread on that was a little too much, and we also thought that the groups just weren't as tight. Like, we're kind of spoiled with the 308. It groups nice.
Very nice.
And we expect the same performance out of the same kind of gun in a different caliber, right? So we brought Federal Premium Sierra Match Kings, because that's what the 308 likes. They're also 140 grain, just like the Hornady. What do you think?
I'm excited to give it a try. I haven't shot it yet.
Well, that's true. I tested some, and
it seemed to do okay.
It seemed to do better, and the spread, extreme spread, was better from it as well.
Yep.
But up at Bear Lake, which you guys will see, I felt like it performed pretty good as well.
Yeah. What we're trying to achieve with this is finding an affordable ammo that you can purchase that's going to give you the best accuracy, right? So the interweb told us to use the Hornady. That's what we use in my Tika. It's done well, but for what we were looking for, it just wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, and there's just, I mean, the BC, the ballistic coefficient of the Hornady, is better. I can't, not say that. Right. But BC doesn't matter if it doesn't group, right? Like, if you can't hit what you're aiming at, what's the point?
Right.
So,
and not only that, if you can get a third the spread in bullet, in your velocity of your bullet, that makes a big difference the further out you go.
Yeah.
I mean, so we're talking a 60 extreme spread, your FPS at 100, take that out to 1,000. We've seen what that does out of the Tika. You will miss your target entirely by sometimes feet just due to that.
Yep. So we brought 2 different ammos. I'm going to be shooting at Bear Lake. Again, schedules. We couldn't get together with enough time for both of us to shoot. So I had to do mine separate from Jeromy, but you guys will get to see both, and we hope you enjoy the results. We felt like it could be better, but again, the wind is so hard to do groups when you're going out further than 100 yards.
It really is.
So, but that's something that we're trying to learn as we do this, is to learn how to read the wind and adjust for the wind. But when you're shooting groups, you want to aim at the same place, same time, with no adjustments. And so you have to hope for consistent wind, and you just don't get that.
No, you don't.
It's gusting from 10 to 20 today.
I mean, I don't know if you can hear it, but just listen as we're talking. The gusts just come in rolling,
Yeah. But what's important for you to know before we shoot is, what is MOA, or minute of angle? So we need to talk about that real quick.
Now, on the Ruger Precision in 6.5 Creedmoor, we are going to be shooting the Arken optic. It's a 5-25. It is their EP5 model. We have attached to it the Trigger Cam 2.0. This is so you guys can see on screen what we're seeing while we're shooting. Yep. And then we have the Arca Rail,
which is a Accutac bipod.
Yep, that's what we were going for. And then for our suppressor, we are using the Silencer Co. Omega 300.
Yep. And all of these parts, minus the scope and the caliber of the gun, we try to use on both so that it's as even as possible.
Yep.
But again, this is an MOA scope. So what is MOA? It means minute of angle. minute of angle is 1/60th of a degree. So since there are 360 degrees in a full circle, there are 21,600 MOA in a full circle, which is crazy.
That's a lot of degrees.
But luckily we don't have to worry about that math. The people that make scopes do that for you. All you need to know is at 100 yards, 4 clicks is 1 inch.
Well,
Technically, it's 1.047 inches.
there you go.
But we just round down because it's easier.
Much easier.
And most people do. But yeah, so, you know, you basically get 1/4 of an inch per click at 100 yards. And so in our episode 1, you saw us zero the scopes and shoot a bunch of groups. And we did that at 100 for a reason, because it's easier to adjust out further once you're zeroed at 100.
Yes.
So like episode 2, I will zero at 100 and then go to 300. And then because the gun will be zeroed at 300, Jeromy will just get down and shoot.
Run it.
So that's the process there. So from this point, we just want to explain the actual reticle. So we're going to put up a picture of the reticle on screen and go over how the reticle works, and then we'll show you us shooting some groups with wind. Here we have the Arken EP5 reticle, specifically the VPR or precision model. Arken also makes a hunter model that doesn't have the Christmas tree information underneath. We're going to start with the windage on the right hand side. From the center dot to the edge of the first line, you have a full MOA, and the first little dash in that red line is 2 MOA. The next edge is 3 MOA, and the first big black line is 4 MOA. So each tick is an MOA as you look down this scope. Now once you get out past 20, which is right here, you have a half MOA per tick. So the top half of the line are full MOAs, and the bottom half are half MOAs. Now let's look at the bottom half of the reticle for your elevation. It's basically the same principle as your windage going down the center of the line. You have an MOA at the edge of the red line, the hash in the middle of the red line is 2, the next edge is 3, and then the big black line is 4. And you just follow the numbers down the Christmas tree, and so each tick down is an MOA until you get down to 32, and then it becomes half on one side and full MOA on the other side per tick. The difference is now you can hold for elevation and windage. So if I were to tell Jeromy while he's shooting that you are 3 MOA right and 8 MOA low, he would have to lift the reticle to this point. And so the lines help you understand MOA by width. So the larger hashes where the dots line up, so the larger hashes, these ones, on the edge of these is 1 MOA, and then each dot is an MOA. When you get down to the 20 line, which is right here, that is 2 MOA wide from the center. And these are just things that you'll want to know about your reticle, is how they function, and that's how this one functions. The top half doesn't have the numbers, and it's important to understand and look at the width of each of those hashes from the center of the line. That first black line right here is only 1 MOA wide, but once you get towards the top, it's 2 MOA wide. But the same principle applies. Each line is an MOA. So when you are shooting, most of the time you won't be using the top half. It's there for just in case, but you'll adjust for your windage and elevation using the bottom half of the reticle. A lot of times, you know, when you shoot, if you see your own hit, so if you shoot and it hits and you see it here, you can make that adjustment on the turrets. You'll know you're 16 MOA too low and you are 8 MOA to the right. So you make that adjustment on the turrets and then you just aim center again. So you can do it both ways. You can use holds, or you can see where you shot and make the adjustment on the turrets and aim center and continue.
Waiting. Just for a sec.
Aim center. You got a left to right wind. Aim center.
That was me. Gosh dang it. Last shot. I have no idea where that went.
It's all right, just keep going.
That one's in the bullseye.
On the right dot?
Yep.
Nice.
I think I'm hitting the center target.
We'll see when we check the camera footage.
Come on. No, this is not Tooele, nor is this Bear Lake.
No, it's my backyard.
It's your backyard. So we are here again in a new position for you to come and drop some facts that I am a better shooter.
Wait, says who? Did you see your last group?
Dude, don't even get me started. But let's talk about those groups a little bit.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys paid super close attention to the numbers I put on screen, but like in episode 2, I gave you 2 measurements, one with all 5 and one without what we're calling our flyer. And we're trying to be consistent. So since we did it in episode 2, we did it in this episode. Also, because of the wind, we just felt, it just gives you an idea of what maybe could be without wind, right?
Yeah.
But as you saw, and as I witnessed, and as Jeromy witnessed as we were shooting, the Federal just seemed to perform, it had the edge on the Hornady. The BC of the Bullet is not as good as the Hornady, but it grouped better and it seems to be better for our purposes.
And it's consistency the further we go out with the extreme spread of having a low 20s, sometimes high teens.
Yeah, we didn't show this on
good.
camera, but we did chronograph all the data, and The extreme spread of the Hornadies was 50s, 60s,
Yep.
and the Federals was 20s, teens.
Yep.
So, you know, and that makes a big difference downrange.
So whether that's the right one or the wrong one, we are making that decision to switch to the Federal. So here out for the rest of this learning series,
Yep.
it's Federals.
We're going to be using the Federal Sierra Match King 140 grain.
Yep.
So I have a question for you, Jer.
What would that be, Rob?
What did you learn from this experience?
Well, I think it's just not learning it, but just reinstating it with a big slap in my neck.
Yeah.
I need to be comfortable behind this rifle. I did very well with those 3 groups. At least I felt that I did. Rewatching some of the trigger cam footage with you guys as we did this edit, I felt good with where I was holding and things like that. But on that last group, you could tell that I was rushed. You could tell I was frustrated. My neck was killing me. In the position of shooting across, doing a little 5-shot group isn't that bad. You can be uncomfortable for a bit, but being down behind the gun for a solid 10, 20, 30 minutes, I don't recall how long that took us.
Well, you know, waiting for the barrel to cool and all that, yeah.
It was so uncomfortable that my neck just caused me to want to rush the shots. You try and take your breaths and breathe through the pain and do all that, but at some point too, I'm just like, I just got to get out of this. It was hard.
And the thing to take away from that is reposition, move your targets, because what we did is we set a target out and went and found 300 yards, and they were basically level with each other, which causes the gun on the stock, you want to be able to lift it up to you and not have to kink your neck to get to the gun, because then you're putting strain on your neck and it gets uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So you want that target lower so that you can lift the gun up to your face, to the target. Where we like to shoot long range, which is a totally different place again, Eagle Mountain, Utah, we have that. We're up on a hill, the targets are down range, we can get comfortable behind the gun. I think it's and we wanted to try different locations, but I feel like that reiterates maybe we just go to the place we know is good for this.
Well, now we kind of have to, because we're going to keep going further out in distances.
That's true.
So there won't be as many places. It's not as beautiful as some of the places we've shot. You know, it's pretty flat out there. But if take the extra time is what we should have done, and just adjusted it, give a little better video quality footage for you guys, get us a little more accurate behind the rifle, just taking that extra 30 minutes to rearrange. And that also goes for you, like it's hard to be accurate when you're blocked by weeds.
Yeah, so as you saw on the trigger cam, I was basically shooting at weeds. I could see the red on the target to aim at, but the problem I had was I trekked 300 yards and I was alone, so nobody could tell me. I just had my own visual saying, okay, this should work. And when I got behind the gun, I was like, well, it does, but it's not great.
Yeah.
And, but then again, things have just been so busy for the two of us. It's just stressed for time, just trying to get this video done, because we want to get this video out every first Friday of every month for you. So we hope we did a good enough job and that you enjoyed that, but that's kind of the situation that we're in and the things that we've learned.
Yep.
Hopefully this is accurate when you guys are watching this, but 2,000 subs!
Right? Dude, we freaking did it.
In 1 year.
1 year. Thanks so much for sticking with us, guys, pushing around. This has been awesome.
It's been so amazing. We appreciate all your guys' support. It's incredible. Our original goal was to try to get to 1,000 by a year. We hit 1,000 at 8 months and then doubled in 4 more months.
Yes.
You guys have been fantastic. We appreciate your viewership, your subscriptions. We hope to continue to grow. The faster we grow, the faster Jeromy can quit his full-time job and I can do this as my full-time job, and we can both just have the time to do this more properly.
We'll get more creative. We'll come up with some new content. We'll expand. There's so much that we have. We have ideas for all of it. That's just waiting for those moments that we can just expand and blow up.
It's just so much harder to do all those things.
Right? Like, who doesn't want to shop at a bald guy's store? Wouldn't that just be awesome one day?
I would love that. I mean, I wouldn't be shopping there. I'd be working there, but
I'd shop there. So, you guys, thank you again. We really appreciate it. But as always, we want to make sure that you do our dance, the
like and subscribe
dance. And remember one thing. What is that, Rob?
Only the most beautiful scalps
are bald. We'll see you next time.